Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Friday night basketball. It'll be LeBron James and the Miami Heat facing off against Antoine Jamison and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And now here we go to Cleveland to join Kevin Harlan for the opening tip-off.
Greetings from Cleveland, everyone. The Cavaliers have an Eastern Conference contest on their hands as they play this one at Quicken Loans Arena. Kevin Harlan here, joining me, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and the entire 2K Sports crew. Look at the Heat. They've definitely started the season right with a hot start.
Well, you know, looking at Miami, they played terrific basketball this year. They haven't missed a beat after the success they had last season. Well, it's hard to find a team that matches up with them comfortably.
Well, you're right, Clark. I mean, they would probably have the upper hand against almost any team in this league. I mean, they're a very difficult matchup. They've got plenty of talent, and they're so well coached. And what I like is they play hard every single night.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. Chris Bosh and Ilgauskas in the middle, and it's LeBron in at the 3 slot. And for Cleveland, Jamison and Varejao in the middle. Baron Davis and Anthony Parker pair up in the backcourt, and it's Graham in at the small forward. Davis against Chalmers. Chalmers against Davis. Varejao passes to Graham. 5 to shoot, and stolen by LeBron.
Spoelstra was in a really odd and tough position last season. Never before had there been a bigger free agent talent swing, and he was tasked with getting 3 huge superstars to mesh as a unit. He's done a nice job.
Here's Davis. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Kevin, a bit ago, Byron Scott and I were able to chat. It's their first meeting with the Heat this season, and he knows what that means. A healthy dose of LeBron and Dwayne Wade. He feels they have the system in place defensively to deal with those two, but that even so, if either of them gets hot, they have the ability to break down any kind of defense.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Back to Spoelstra because he was the first coach, Steve, to deal with that much talent. He had some very unique situations pop up along that road.
Well, he sure did, Kevin, and he had to coach that team under a microscope all season long. The basketball world was watching, and that Miami team went through some ups and downs. But in the end, I think Erik Spoelstra did a fantastic job, and he looks to be one of the bright young coaches in this league.
He hits the second from the line.
Yep, I think it's pretty clear the higher you get, the harder the fall is to the bottom, and the Cavs found that out last year as they tried to rebuild, and it was as unpleasant as a season could be.
Now here's LeBron, his last outing with 20 points.
Well, he's showing off his defensive instincts by making plays just like that.
Off on that one. Top to bottom, no pun intended, it was horrible for the Cavs. First time a team goes from the best record to the worst record in a year. Steve, it's a dubious distinction.
Well, we all know why it happened. I mean, it's based on one man, LeBron James. So talented, such a great player. Once he was gone, basically the entire foundation fell apart for Cleveland. So we'll see what happens as they attempt to rebuild without their star.
And Cleveland has possession. It's a 3-point game. Defeated by the Bobcats in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, difficult loss. They played pretty well throughout. At the end of the game, they just couldn't finish it off, so difficult loss.
Yeah, they can definitely say it wasn't self-inflicted. I mean, I think it was just an excellent game from their opponent, and sometimes you just have to tip your hat to the other team.
Wade gets the bucket.
Strong move against a much bigger defender.
Yeah, he's definitely given up a few inches, all right, Steve, but didn't seem to bother him. It's the first time since having Shaq in Miami where Wade didn't really have to carry the load all by himself. I know he feels good about that. but he still managed to contribute when he needs to.
Well, that's the problem. You turn the ball over, and your defense just isn't set up at the other end.
And sometimes when it happens that way, it almost feels like a 4-point bucket.
Davis working against Chalmers. Outside, Davis. Shot clock at 6. Graham. It's hauled in by the Heat. Going back, Clark, to Wade, as you were talking about him, it must have been nice for him to not have to score 30 points a game to give the Heat a chance to win in the playoffs for once. And, Steve, we saw that all the way right through the finals.
Well, it was huge for him to be able to share that scoring load with LeBron. Of course, LeBron kind of suffered offensively in that final series against Dallas. But for the most part, Wade and LeBron, just a terrific 1-2 punch all season long. And they are poised to make another run to the finals this year.
Chalmers against Parker. Wade outside. Graham defending. Takes it up. Varejao grabs the board. Varejao's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Wade against Davis. He kicks it to Graham. He's picked up by LeBron. Over James. And it's Graham missing. The Heat leading by 5. And here is LeBron. T. Wade on the wing. Jamison covering. And it's Wade getting it to go. Wade's got his second bucket of the night.
Well, they're scoring efficiently. They look very focused at the offensive end.
A nice start, no question, making all the right moves here early.
Lets it go from the wing, and he gets the jumper to drop.
How often have we seen him, Kevin, create wide open chances for himself like that?
LeBron kicks to Wade. Wade, right side. Chalmers dishes to Wade. Over Parker. The shot by Wade, no good. The Cavaliers trail by 5. Parker kicks to Jamison. Jamison left side. No luck, and Miami will go the other way with the ball. This their first chance this season playing the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and as you'd expect, I mean, they were the better team last year in their season series.
Now here's LeBron. Here's Chalmers. Buries the long-range jumper. Chalmers has got his first 3 points of the game. Here is Davis. 8-point game. Like Steve said, Clark, the season series between these two went according to form for the most part.
You know, it really did, Kevin. They were in the postseason for a reason, and their opponent today was not for a reason.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Cavaliers.
You knew the big three when they came together, guys, that they would be good. But they did a pretty decent job, I thought, of finding complementary players to fill out the roster after a big chunk of the salaries went to the big three.
Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Look at the Heat. Long way to go still in the season, but even so, they've got the top spot. And, of course, Cleveland, more than a few spots below.
You know, for the Heat, they played terrific basketball this year. They haven't missed a beat after the success they had last season. Well, it's hard to find a team that matches up with them comfortably.
Well, you're right, Clark. I mean, they would probably have the upper hand against almost any team in this league. I mean, they're a very difficult matchup. They've got plenty of talent, and they're so well coached. And what I like is they play hard every single night.
Now here is Davis. He's coming off a 25-point game against Charlotte. Chalmers knocks it loose. On offense, here are the Heat. They're on a 13-5 run here. Picked up by Davis. Chalmers against Davis. Chalmers' shot is no good. The Cavaliers trail by 8. Parker passes to Davis. Here is Samuels. Clock at 6. Outside, Davis. Connects from three-point range. Davis has got 5 now.
Wherever he's been, Byron Scott has had success. I mean, he took the Nets to back-to-back NBA Finals appearances and helped the Hornets get back on track as well. His winning track record was just what Cleveland wanted when they brought him in to be their head coach.
Now, here is Miller. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. About 3.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Davis down low, defended by Chalmers. Davis kicks to Parker. And that one falls, coming off of Davis's feed. Parker's got his first 2 points of the night. Well, even though they had a rough year, Byron Scott, Steve, knows how to get a team turned around.
And when the Cavs lost LeBron James last year, they knew it was going to be tough. So Byron came in, did a nice job of establishing a program, establishing a style, and really keeping things moving forward as the season went along. It was a tough season for everybody, but I thought Byron Scott did a nice job kind of keeping them afloat.
Now Davis. He has 5. Doubled by Bosch. Davis dishes to G. Parker. A three-pointer off the mark.
Boy, that's a surprising miss right there. He usually feasts on those wide-open opportunities.
LeBron outside. No good. And it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way.
And you know, guys, with LeBron's size, I don't think he gets the most out of his post game. It's not something that he's developed down there. He doesn't have a go-to move, not a turnaround jumper or a jump hook. And as a result, he hasn't fully realized his potential yet.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Going back to LeBron and his size, there was talk when he came to Miami, Clark, that he would play, power forward, but is there a position maybe he cannot play?
Well, that's the thing with me, Kevin. His versatility is such that you have a lot of different ways you can utilize him. His size, his speed, his strength, his basketball acumen and IQ, all of that allows you to play LeBron where he can be most effective on a game-to-game basis.
And Clark, while we have a moment, let's show you the list of players who put up the most points last year. LeBron James, second.
He never took a night off. I mean, it seemed like he was scoring big all season long. Just a terrific year for him.
And the Cavaliers with some changes. Antoine Jameson's checked in for Varejao. Graham comes in for Samardo Samuels. And Sessions subbed in for Baron Davis. Then for the Heat, Ilgauskas is checked in for Eric Dampier. Haslam comes in for Chris Bosh. And Dwayne Wade subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Here's LeBron. Now here is Haslam. Wade outside. Ilgauskas backing down. Just 5 on the clock. Miller, the pass to LeBron. Over Graham. They get it again. Haslam nails the baby hook. And the Heat lead by 5.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
Now here's Sessions. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte. The tray. Jameson with the basket on the assist by Sessions.
Now, they're not worried enough about him. They've got to tighten up their defense.
Wade kicks to Miller. He's picked up by Parker. Miller outside. Launches it. Snatched up. An easy 2 points on the layup.
Boy, what a great job of getting into the teeth of the defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's been their main point of attack. I mean, get the ball deep and try to score from in tight rather than rely on their outside shooting. I mean, that's a more consistent way to score it. Take it inside.
Jamison. And Cleveland again with the bucket. Here's Wade. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Boston. Wade, right side. LeBron outside. Graham defending. 6 on the shot clock. Gets it to go. Miller's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Sessions dishes to Parker. That falls. Great assist by Ramon Sessions.
And those points are made possible by that perfect entry pass.
LeBron, that's a 2-pointer. And a high-scoring first quarter. Both teams really filling it up. Heat out front, up 3.
And I thought the key to that first quarter, guys, was the turnovers they faced with that aggressive defense.
Well, the defense, as you said, Steve, has been really aggressive, and it's paid off for them a few times already.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Coming up next Thursday, Andre Iguodala and the Philadelphia 76ers take on Josh Smith and the Atlanta Hawks. The NBA season blasts off. Make sure to catch it.
Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. Here's Chalmers.
Well, I tell you what, the Heat breezed through round 1 of the playoffs, knocking off the Sixers in 5 games, but their true test, as everyone knew, would be against the Celtics in round 2. They came out strong early in that series and got it done.
So with LeBron on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. Haslam's out there with Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and it's Jones in at the 3. Here's Sessions. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Back to the Heat, they said after that Celtics win that beating them was a big driving force to forming the Big Three from the very beginning.
That's right, because none of them individually could beat Boston. They came together. They finally got past the Celtics. They beat Chicago, got into the finals, but of course they didn't end up with what they finally wanted, which was that championship ring. So that's what they're shooting for this year.
Here's Sessions. Out to Harris. Shot denied. The Heat leading by 7. Even numbers, 4 on 4. Here's Chalmers. Kicks to Wade. Haslam up top. 6 to shoot. Shoots a 3. Wade is whistled for the loose ball foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Well, you like the effort, but you got to be smarter there. You can't climb over anybody's back to try to get the ball.
Yeah, if I was coaching him, I said, I like your effort, but you're hurting us, son. Be smart out there.
Here's Harris. Off target from 3-point range.
Really good offensive execution. Nice pick, just couldn't get the shot to go.
Well, you love to see that as a basketball purist. Guy setting a good screen and then getting the shot opportunity.
Here's Chalmers. Haslam, the pass to Chalmers. Takes the 3. They get it back. A second chance effort. And Haslam kicks to Wade. Jamison covering. Another shot. Goes up. Wade gets the bucket. Wade's got 8 points.
And you look back at LeBron's arrival in Miami and how it affected Dwayne Wade. Well, his shooting and scoring went down a little bit, but You would expect that with so many weapons offensively. I thought Wade was very efficient and really sacrificed his game.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. You talk about sacrificing his game. It was something that Wade had to do, as well as LeBron and Bosh when they all came together in Miami.
I think it's a major adjustment for all three, maybe more so for Wade and Bosh than LeBron. I think LeBron is comfortable being a facilitator. As a matter of fact, I think he likes that most about playing basketball.
Really?
That's what I seem to see him get the most enjoyment out of. Passing the ball, setting other people up. And his brilliant talent dictates that he has to do more in order for his teams to win. So I think for Bosh, who had been a prominent focal point of the offense for Toronto, and for Wade, who's been unbelievable throughout his career, they probably had to make a bit more of an adjustment than even LeBron did.
You know what's interesting about LeBron with his size and the power he puts in back of every pass, those cross-court passes look effortless, but you need a strong throw to get it over there and on the money.
Yeah, that's his greatest attribute to me, other than his ungodly athleticism.
Yes.
And speed. His passing ability is really special.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Samuels, he's in for Verjao. Alonzo G comes in for Joey Graham. And Anthony Parker is subbed in for Manny Harris. Now here's Sessions, looking for his first bucket of the game. To end the drought. Rebound by the Heat. Haslam's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
They just shot the ball so well in that game. It was their night.
I thought they were able to consistently find quality shots, and that was the difference.
And they're struggling a little bit on the glass. They've got to pick up their physical play in the paint.
Yeah, it's about being tougher and more physical, just as you said, Steve. If they can do that better, they've got a chance to come back.
It's blocked. The Heat leading by 9. Here's LeBron. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, here's a little factoid for you. With LeBron switched to Miami, guys, he was the first reigning MVP to change teams since Moses Malone back in 1982. Crazy stuff. And remember what happened when Moses Malone changed teams. That team, Philadelphia, went on to win the NBA title in '83.
With Dr. J.
Dr. J and Mo Cheeks.
Unbelievable.
That was my rookie year. So I
you saw
remember banging heads
didn't
against those guys. Yeah.
What a time.
Yeah.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
Oh, my God.
Back to what you said about LeBron. Like you said, you just don't see MVPs want to change teams. They're happy where they are. Steve, you can probably talk about that, too. It's rare.
It is rare. Shaquille O'Neal left Orlando for L.A. Steve Nash left Dallas for Phoenix. Now, granted, those guys weren't on the same level as LeBron at the time, but it does happen occasionally. But, hey, look, LeBron, probably the biggest athlete, biggest star in the NBA, so it made big news. So tough for the defense to get out to the three-point line in transition.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
And Coach doesn't look pleased at all. He's going to try to iron things out.
Let's pause to take a look at the teams that were tops in field goal percentage last season. The Heat in second.
Well, I thought, Kevin, they had great productivity from their shooters last year. The guys they were counting on to knock down a high percentage of their shots, they did that. And they hope to see those same kinds of numbers this year.
Here's Sessions. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. Samuels in the post. Working on Bosh. Jamison. And their work on the board pays off with the second chance points. Here is House. On offense, here are the Heat. Big run right now going for him, 11-2. Wade dishes to LeBron. Feeds it to House. And Bosch backs down. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Drops it in from 12 feet. Bosch has got 6 points.
And one of the factors in Cleveland's difficult season a year ago was losing Anderson Varejao to injury. He's their major defensive force inside, and without him, they had no shot-blocking presence.
Now here's Sessions. Outside, Jamison. The feed to G. From outside the arc, and that is good. G's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Back to the Cavs, Steve, and Clark, you know, they should be better in that shot-blocking category, I would think, you know, Clark, this season.
Yeah, again, a lot depends on Varejao. That wasn't their backbone, though, as a team. I mean, defense last year, Cleveland really didn't offer a lot of resistance, and I'm sure Byron Scott and his staff are going to look to correct that.
And that one's good by Bosch.
But you've got to get the ball out of his hands, bring an extra defender, and force somebody else to beat you.
I agree with you. Make him give it up.
Now here's Sessions, looking for his first bucket of the game. To the inside, deflects the pass. Shot, high post. Here's Samuels. The shot no good. Bosch with some nice D. The Heat on offense. They're on a 15-5 run here. It's House outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from Dwayne Wade.
Now they're playing so well offensively, and that's led to this double-digit lead.
Guys, no resting on their laurels. They continue to get after it as if they might even be down. That's how they're playing, with that kind of attitude.
And this is why you need size inside, the ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
Here's LeBron. He's got 9. Here is House. Dishes it to Wade. Right up. Cavaliers with the rebound.
He came away empty there, and that's a shot that should probably go down.
Here's G, covered by LeBron. G passes to Sessions. Just 4 to shoot. And stolen by LeBron.
Anticipating that pass so well. Beautifully done.
Here is House. LeBron's shot is good. LeBron's now got 7 now in this quarter.
He has so much confidence, guys. What a finish.
Sessions with it. Pass to Parker. Shot clock at 6. He dishes it to G. Fires the 3. And it's Haslam with the rebound. On offense, here are the Heat. They're on a 20-7 run. Wade outside. Jamison covering. It's House outside. Can't hit. The Cavaliers trail by 16. Pass to Jamison. Parker kicks to Jamison. And here's Sessions. Over Bosch. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Ramon Sessions, in his year with the Cavs, was able to get some momentum and become a valuable part of that rebuilding team. I like what he brings to the point guard position, size and speed.
And the first one at the line is good. Well, getting back to Sessions, Steve, he filled in nicely when Mo Williams was out.
Yeah, I like Sessions. He's a good, tough player that can play either guard spot, can make a shot, can penetrate, and he'll defend as well.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Anderson Varejau's checked in for Samardo Samuels. Caspi comes in for Antoine Jamison. And it's Graham in for Alonzo G. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Tough season last year for Cleveland. A disaster, really, losing LeBron James and then falling apart as a team. In fact, they couldn't even succeed against the weaker Eastern Conference, scoring just 15 of 37.
And that one's good. Miller's got 6 points.
You are really living dangerously if you let him roam free in three-point land. He's a dangerous marksman from out there.
Back to Parker. Chalmers against Sessions. The pass to Graham. Takes a three. The shot's good. Sessions making him pay. Sessions got 3 assists in the game. Back to the Cavs. You know opponents could smell blood against them for a while, too, in that East.
Yeah, and I mean, they went through a stretch where they lost, 20-plus games in a row?
Yes.
And, you know, teams were desperately trying not to be the team that ended that losing streak. So they had a lot of things working against them, not to mention a depletion of talent and personnel from prior seasons.
With a coach, a brand new coach, and Byron Scott, who was used to winning.
Yeah, no question about that.
Tough environment, really was.
Very difficult.
Here is Sessions following the basket by Chris Bosh. Kept alive.
Another board for them, and they've got a huge advantage in that regard.
Yeah, it's not really a surprise. I mean, rebounding one of the true barometers in winning basketball games, and if you rebound better, you typically are going to win ball games and do it comfortably.
"19 seconds left to play in the first half. Now Sessions over Chalmers. Knocks it down from 19 feet. Sessions got 6 in the quarter. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. And we'll be back momentarily live from Cleveland.
Nothing can beat the NBA on a Friday night, except for maybe a Saturday night. We'll get to that tomorrow. Right now, it's time for the HP Halftime Report. The Heat have been tearing it up. They're off to a hot start this season. They'd like to continue that hot streak in this game. The leading scorer, LeBron James. He has 11 points and a few steals too, staying active on the defensive end of the floor. And for the Cavaliers, it's been all hustle. They've done all the little things, made all the hustle plays, and that's been the difference. Antoine Jamison stood out early. He's got 8 points, also added a couple of rebounds. We've seen these two pace their team so far in the first half. Let's see what they'll have in store for later. Some games going on earlier on. Let's check them out from around the league. Portland with a loss to the Pacers in Indianapolis. Hard game to watch as a fan. LaMarcus Aldridge led them in scoring. And checking out another game that wrapped up in Philadelphia, the 76ers take the win over the Bobcats. They're 2 for their last 5 games now. They'd like to ride a little momentum. And a look now at the rest of the action from around the NBA. Sacramento with a loss to the Mavericks at American Airlines Center. It wasn't even close, a big disappointment from this club. Their top scorer, Tyreke Evans. And now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K broadcast crew for the beginning of the third quarter.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Great Lakes area of Cleveland, Ohio, here on the banks of Lake Erie. We're in the Quicken Loans Arena. Here's LeBron. Baron Davis and Anthony Parker pair up in the backcourt. Jamison and Varejao in the middle. And it's Graham in at the 3 spot. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Pulls up on the elbow. Rebound by Antoine Jamison. Jamison's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Davis kicks to Jamison. There's the dish to Graham. Three-pointer. Miami grabs the miss. Chalmers has got 4 rebounds in this game. They host the 76ers after this game. That'll be the first of 4 played at home for them. Ilgauskas dishes to LeBron. Over Graham. A nice shot by LeBron. LeBron's now got the first bucket of the third here for the Heat. Now here is Davis. Defended by Chalmers. Davis against Chalmers. Outside for Jamison. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Davis has got 3 assists tonight.
Well, another uncontested 3 there. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open threes.
Well, the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open three-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up one, but you start giving three-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble.
And it's Ilgauskas missing. The Cavaliers trail by 13. Outside, Davis. Fires it up. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. That one is on Ilgauskas.
You know, Antoine Jamison, after his injury, was coming off the bench for Cleveland, and it didn't quite sit too well with him. Eventually, though, he adjusted to it.
2 shots.
That free throw, no good. And Clark, for a star like Jamison to come off the bench, it's a big change for him. I mean, you warm up differently, you view the game differently, even if it is a part of injury rehab. So, Steve, it was an adjustment certainly for him.
Yeah, it was. It's always difficult when you're a starter and you're getting a lot of field goal attempts night after night to get moved to the bench. So for Jamison, it was an impressive adjustment that he made kind of on the fly, and I thought he eventually played really well off that bench. Well, Miami had such a turbulent season last year as far as the drama that surrounded that team. But they were consistent and steady on the road, and they ended up with the best away record in the Eastern Conference.
Goes up to the stripe, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on Varejao. And back to Miami. You know, Clark, road trips aren't easy when you're the villains of the NBA, and there's no doubt that wanted poster in the NBA has got a picture of that Miami threesome up there, huh?
I agree, no doubt about it. But I think that also helped them come together. You know, teams typically do a good job of bonding when they're on the road. That us against them mentality, nobody for you. And quite honestly, really good teams and players enjoy winning on the road more than they do even winning at home.
He hits both from the stripe.
You know, guys, thinking back to Chalmers in the NBA Finals last year, he was one of the Heat's role players that I thought really ramped it up in a tough series and helped out the Big Three quite a bit.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
Well, you brought up Chalmers, Clark. I mean, he was really, really good in that final series against Dallas. He knocked down his three-point shots, did a nice job of running the club, and I think really made a case for being the future starting point guard for the Miami Heat.
Here is Davis. He has 5. He feeds it to Jamison. Chalmers against Davis. Clock at 6. Jamison against Ilgauskas. Goes back up. And the rejection by LeBron. The Heat leading by 14. A floater. Wade gets the bucket. Wade's got 10 points in the game.
Yeah, and the defense has to pick it up a little bit here. They're getting bullied inside, guys.
Yeah, they just have not competed well enough. I mean, they've not fought. You want to see fight and aggressiveness.
Now here is Verjao. He passes to Graham. It's tipped and stolen by LeBron.
I'm not sure what they're thinking offensively.
Oh, and the jam by LeBron.
Boy, that is an alley-oop of the highest order on the front and back end.
Well, play they've been working on, I'm sure.
That's got to be the case because that was impeccable timing.
Here is Davis. Verjao with a screen on Chalmers. It's stolen by Wade.
I really don't like what I'm seeing their last couple of possessions, Kevin. That's 2 turnovers in a row, careless turnovers at that.
Yeah, they're getting a little casual with the ball. They've got to nip that in the bud right now.
Now, here's Chalmers. It's an 18-point game. 5 on the clock, from 18 feet away, and it's Ilgauskas missing. The Cavaliers trail by 18. Outside, Davis. Ilgauskas against Jamison. He kicks it to Graham. Shot to end this cold run. Offensive rebound. Here's Verjao. That's blocked. The Heat leading by 18. Kicks it to LeBron. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. Baron Davis picks one up.
I think he's one of the most entertaining offensive players in the league, and I just can't help but saying it that way. I mean, he is.
You'll get no argument here, Clark.
Now, you guys are both right. I mean, he gives them such a reliable option at that end of the court.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Alonzo G comes in for Antoine Jamison. And Manny Harris subs in for Anthony Parker.
Well, the big story, of course, a year ago for Miami was the formation of the big three, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. And although it took some time for those three to click, eventually they figured it out.
Now here is Davis. He's got 5. Defended by Chalmers. And Davis can't get it to go. Steve, back to what you said about Miami. They struggled out of the gate. They were 9-8, but after a rough November, they kicked it on in December. And Clark, I think really the game that kind of spun them around was their first LeBron appearance in Cleveland in a win early December against the Cavs.
Yeah, that was an impressive win. I recall that. That was almost like an NBA Finals type atmosphere in terms of the media attention and so forth. But in that month, they went 15-1 and really seemed to find their rhythm and quite honestly never looked back.
Just a disastrous season a year ago for the Cavaliers, losing LeBron James and then, of course, plummeting in the standings. And they really struggled at home, too. Just 12 wins total at Quicken Loans Arena.
Now here is Davis. Defended by Chalmers. And Davis puts it in. Davis has got 7 points in the game. And back to the Cavs, Steve. Not exactly how they wanted to start off their new era without LeBron.
No question about it, Kevin. I mean, they got pummeled at home. That's never any fun. And even teams that know they aren't full of talent need to step up and at least play better at home. And it wasn't the case. And, you know, Verjao being hurt really impacted that home record. Now, he wouldn't have made a significant difference, but he would have made a difference if he was healthy.
You know who the Cavs played well against last year was the New York Knicks.
Well, there's always a team that
Sure.
a poor team plays well against. For some reason, the matchups are favorable, and they've got that team's number.
And stolen by Chalmers.
He's got to tighten up his game, guys. That's 5.
And slam dunk. Wow! Now the Sprite Slam Cam for the replay.
Well, that's a dunk you will not see very often. You won't pass that one by.
No doubt about that.
I wish he would, though. You can never see too many of those.
Chalmers against Davis. Feeds it to Graham. Back to Davis. Lets it go from deep. Good. Davis has got 10.
It's been a great day for him from the field, but his team still trailing.
LeBron passes to Wade. Wade double team. And there's the feed to Chalmers. Picked up by Davis. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Chalmers that time on the assist by Haslam. Chalmers has got 5 points now in the quarter. Here's Davis. 10 points for him. Here's Harris over Ilgauskas. And it's Wade with the rebound. Miami controlling the game. Here's the screen. And Chalmers kicks to LeBron. Graham defending. Shot clock at 5. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
Boy, he's been so cool out there, composed, never rattled. I mean, a very steady contributor to the offense.
Davis with it. And here is Harris. Fires for 3. And another 3 for Cleveland.
He may not be their top three-point option, guys, but you still got to cover him. I mean, you got to defend him in some form or fashion.
Wade against Harris. Takes it up. And they call goaltending. They'll give him a bucket.
You know, with the extra weight he has over his man there, I mean, he's going to be hard to slow down when he gets ahead of steam. Those extra LBs make a difference.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Here is Davis. He's got 10. Dishes it to Iyenga. And Verjao backs down. The jump hook. Miami grabs the miss. Haslam's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one.
A very rough quarter for him as not much is falling right now.
Well, last season was such a tough campaign for the Cavs, and the biggest blow was losing Anderson Varejao to that ankle injury. And when he missed most of the season, it really spelled doom for Cleveland.
Jones, no luck.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, they were very lucky defensively because there was some miscommunication there. They left him wide open.
Now here is Davis, and it's Miller picking him up. Davis kicks to Iyenga. Back to Davis. Over Miller. And Davis puts it in. Davis has got 7 points here in this quarter. Back to Verjao. Won't be easy to come back, Clark, from an ankle injury like that. Might not be at full strength immediately.
Boy, so much of basketball is about cutting, stopping, and starting, changing direction, quick movements, and it's hard to get back to full strength when you're recovering from an ankle injury. You got to take your time and gradually build up to it, and it might not be this season before he's fully healthy again.
12 points for him. Outside, Davis. Jamison, a screen. Shot is blocked. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
What an offensive performance it's been. But you've got to get the ball out of his hands, bring an extra defender, and force somebody else to beat you.
I agree with you. Make him give it up.
Here's Davis. No good, trying to beat the buzzer. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. What can you say, LeBron James? What an impressive effort today.
That's one thing to get to the rim, and it's another to finish when you get there. I mean, he's done both so far.
Yeah, through the first 3 quarters, I mean, he's done a great job of being able to complete plays at the rim, finishing drives nicely.
Heat out front, delivering the blowout.
Next Thursday night, Chris Paul and the New Orleans Hornets go up against Blake Griffin and the Los Angeles Clippers, live from downtown LA. You don't want to miss it.
Now, while we've got a moment, we're going to send it over to Doris Burke for our Spark of the Game, presented by Sprite. Doris?
And Kevin, for that great stretch the Heat put together, they get the Sprite Spark Award. With each bucket they get, they keep putting this game a little bit further out of reach. You have to be excited with how they look if you're a fan of this basketball team, guys.
Thank you, Doris. Everything really clicked for them, Clark, during that run.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, it ignited them offensively.
To the point, Clark, where they were really in complete control at that end of the floor.
Here's Sessions. So with Wade on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. We've got James Jones. Haslam's out there with Juwan Howard. Then there's House, and it's Miller in at the shooting guard position. Here's Sessions, and it's good on the layup. Sessions got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Cavs. The Heat on offense. Here is House. Miller outside. Jones dishes to House. Rebound by Parker. Parker's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Here's Sessions. Here is House. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Takes it right up. Miller. And the layup is good.
They're just trying to get out and outrun their opponent, and that's exactly what's happening.
And I like the way the game plan is working quite nicely right now. I mean, they're running right by him and racking up a bunch of fast break points.
Now here's Jamison. Now Graham tries to keep it alive. And stolen by Miller.
And nice swipe there. You could see his eyes get wide open when he saw the opportunity to take the ball.
And that one's good. House.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Well, defense starts at the rim. I mean, you want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside.
And Cleveland has possession. The Heat getting the bucket. Jamison, no luck. Shoots from the elbow. And it's Miami with another.
Man, offensive execution has been the story here. Just playing beautiful basketball.
And guys, you can see it in their advantage in field goal percentage. I mean, you get high quality shots, you're usually going to shoot well. They're playing outstanding basketball.
Here's Parker. The Heat getting the bucket. Misses from the corner.
Nobody near him. He'll normally make that one.
Here is House.
You know, when you look at cable and video games, the internet now with smartphones as well, it's pretty amazing how much more accessible the game is to fans than it was back when I played in the days of hot pants.
Guys, a potent offense right now.
Yeah, Kevin, really the offense is flowing quite nicely right now.
Playing with a lot of confidence, just some self-assurance there. I like what we're seeing.
Gets it to go. Going back to the all-digital distribution of the game, Steve, the NBA deserves credit for really staying on the cutting edge.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, you can see games now in 3D. You can see it on your phones. You can see games on the internet. It's just amazing to think about the innovations in technology that have taken place in the last decade and how they have affected our game.
Just 5 to shoot. Back to Jones. Over Sessions. Jones, no luck. So it's Cleveland now. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. It's off to Charlotte for them after this game as they take on the Bobcats. That'll be just 1 game played away from home for them. Samuels inside. Haslam on him. Shots good by Samuels.
Yeah, they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
And Miami has possession. The Cavaliers making the shot. Howard kicks to House. All sorts of time. They grab their own miss. Kicks it out to Jones. Again, the miss by the Heat.
And not really the guy you want taking that shot there.
And the Cavaliers with possession. Sessions passes to Jamison. The second effort. The shot, no good. And Miami will go the other way with the ball.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
House kicks to Miller. He's picked up by Parker. Miller dishes to Haslam. He dishes it to House. Lets the three fly. Gets the bucket.
I tell you what, he'll be quite contented to sit out there beyond the arc and knock down shot after shot if they're going to play defense like that. Tighten it up out there.
Now here's Sessions.
Well, if you want to win a championship, you really have to have multiple stars. That's why Miami went after LeBron and Chris Bosh. That's why the Lakers wanted to trade for Pau Gasol. And look at Boston. They end up trading for Garnett and Ray Allen. You put him with Paul Pierce, you got 3 stars. So that's what it takes if you want to win the whole thing.
And Miller backs down. And it's Jamison picking him up. Jones for 3. And again, Miami with the triple. And Steve, you mentioned how it really takes a number of great players to win it all. I think we've seen a move now of star players taking matters into their own hands, trying to join forces through free agency to win titles.
Yeah, I think you'll see some of that. I don't think it's going to be just an overwhelming trend. And part of that is that these great players all have relationships with one another through Team USA. So that takes away from some of the animosity and competitive spirit and fire that might exist and makes them realize that they can work together and they can accomplish great things together. I mean, that big summer for Miami, perhaps, I don't think it's really going to be a trend, as I said earlier, but it may happen a little more than in past years.
And he makes the first.
And Jamison was having an up-and-down year with Cleveland before his season was cut short by that finger injury. Still a big scorer and the ability to put up big numbers on any given night, but it was such a difficult season for the Cavaliers, and I think mentally that was tough for Jamison to deal with.
Anderson Varejau's checked in for the Cavaliers. Davis comes in for Sessions. And he makes both free throws. Going back to Antoine, you aren't used to seeing numbers like that from him, though.
Yeah, it was a difficult year for him, but he'll bounce back, Kevin. He's a high-character guy. I think he's still got some pretty good years left in front of him as a scorer.
Pass to Wade. Drops in the layup for 2. Wade's got 19 points.
You know, he got one step ahead of the defense on that one. Excellent job.
Davis with it.
It's really been great to see all the talent that's come into the league since 2003. You can kind of sense the bar raising across the league as far as what it takes to win now.
Offensive rebound. Parker against Wade. Parker kicks to Davis. And here is Graham. And that one falls coming off of Davis's feed. Davis has got his 4th assist in this one. Well, when you look at the new talent in the NBA, Steve, the LeBrons, the Chris Pauls, Derrick Rose, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, what comes to your mind as a guy who used to draft players and scout players and then watch them try to bloom?
Well, what comes to my mind is how lucky we all are to be able to watch these players. I mean, the next decade promises to be fantastic if you're an NBA fan. You've got all this talent, you've got some great coaches, you've got some fun young teams to watch. So this is really a special era for the NBA.
LeBron kicks to Wade. It's a pick by Ilgauskas. And Parker comes with the help. Stolen by Varejao.
He did not respond well at all to that double team. Just panicked and threw a bad pass.
And here comes LeBron. Jumps up. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
You know, he's not going to make a mistake when he gets in tight. That's a good hoop there.
And a new group in for the Heat. Eric Dampiers checked in for Ilgauskas. Juwan Howard comes in for Chris Bosh. Mike Miller's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And Mike Bibby is subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Free throw good, LeBron.
Oh my gosh.
And you know, guys, shoot-arounds have been a tradition in the NBA for a long time, but in recent years, a lot of teams have decided to eliminate shoot-arounds or make them later in the day based on scientific studies about proper sleeping habits.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. You know, the other thing about eliminating morning shoot-arounds, the research said that having players on a later schedule is actually a good thing.
You know, Kevin, you think about it. I mean, normally you have your most energy in the middle of the day, but most games are played at night. So if you're on a later schedule, it's probably a way for players to have a little more energy at tip-off as long as they take advantage of being able to come in later.
James Jones, he's checked in for the Heat. Here's Jamison. Bibby covering. Outside, Davis. Over Bibby. The Cavaliers again can't hit. Kicks it out to Jones. Launches a three. Cavaliers with the rebound. 1:46 left here in the fourth quarter. Off his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. A minute 42 left in the fourth quarter.
I think they've got to get back to what they were doing in the first half if they want to win this game. I mean, they're shooting it poorly, and that's really due to the fact that they've not been as sharp in their execution.
And Davis can't get it to go. Here is Davis. Back to Jamison. There's the triple. Rebound by the Heat. Jones has got his fourth rebound in this one. Now Bibby. He's picked up by Parker. There's a screen. Jamison against Miller. Passes it to Jones. 4 on the shot clock. Great D that time from Davis. So it's Cleveland now. The finish. Oh! Here's a second look with the Sprite Slam Cam.
How's that for finishing with flavor?
Absolutely fantastic.
I think he was saving that one for a special occasion.
56 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Miller, the pass to Bibby. Picked up by Davis. Davis with the double team. Bibby against Verjao. Bibby with the bucket.
Well, they're just trying to run clock now. I mean, this thing is pretty much over.
Yeah, there's nothing but the result to be determined. So it's time to start thinking about the next game now.
Here's Graham, defended by Jones. For the three. Another miss by Jamison. Here comes Mike Bibby. And so Miami takes this one by a big margin. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dreamlike games for a coach.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, LeBron James.